Hello, all, and welcome back to Larry's page, Larry's Anything Goes. I hope everybody had a great holiday season. I know I had a great one with my friends and family. There was no drama and no issues, so that's a good holiday season for me. I hope everybody enjoyed themselves no matter where you are located in this world. And, as we look at the year of reflections and we see, the good and the bad, the ugly, the whole nine, if you're still here, just be happy that you're still here and you're still you. And at the end of the day, just keep pushing strong, and hopefully your goals in 2017 they were accomplished. And if not, continuously try to accomplish those goals in 2018 because I know that's exactly what I'm going to do. But today I'm just going to talk to you real quick, short video, and it's really going to be short. In regards to a trip I took last month in November. Right now we're still at the end of December, December 26, 2017. So we're almost there, but we might as well call it 2018 right now. But I went on vacation to Seattle, Washington, and Portland, Oregon for the first time. Man, I had a great time, man. I mean, I'm already in love and infatuated with the West Coast. And those of you out there that know me know that I'm trying to relocate to Southern California as soon as possible. But I had a great time in the Pacific Northwest. It was nice to see a different part of the West Coast, not just seeing the desert, but seeing more mountainous areas and wilderness and things of that nature, and seeing the Pacific Ocean from a different angle. Great time. Everybody always gives Seattle a bad rep, but I didn't see the downside in it. I mean, people were friendlier than they are compared to the people in the DMV, Washington, D.C., metropolitan Virginia, Maryland area. I had a good time. People were friendly. Food was great, man. It was like a lot of great mom and pop restaurants all over the place. The city's very convenient when it comes to public parking. I mean, especially when it comes to Washington, D.C., you had public parking on every block 24 hours a day. So I had a great time. Went to a couple of museums. My favorite one was the Museum of Popular Culture and Pop. So that consisted of popular music from all genres. I'm a big Jimi Hendrix fan, so I went to go see Jimi Hendrix's memorial. That was great. Got to see different television series like Star Trek, and different movies like Alien versus Predator. A lot of horror movies. I'm a big horror film kind of guy, especially from back in the 80s and 90s. Jason, Freddy Krueger kind of movies. It's a great atmosphere. People were mellow and relaxed, kind of like what fits my personality a lot more. So I had a great time doing that. Though, I mean, yeah, the weather was not, since I went during, the winter time slash fall time. The weather wasn't the best. I mean, there was mostly overcast. I got to see the sun a couple of times while I was there, so I was happy. All the locals told me that I need to go to Seattle at least in the summertime because there's a lot more sunshine and a lot less overcast. But I had a good time. I mean, it was laid back, mellow. It seemed like a city filled with people who were outside of the box thinkers, analytical thinkers. They find all multiple kinds of ways to have fun and make money. And I got to see the campus of Google and Facebook and headquarters of Amazon and other technical atmospheres. So it was a great city to be in. I mean, people give Seattle a lot of flack. I thought it was a great town to be in. I don't see the downside. I mean, I guess having all the overcast can be somewhat of a downside if you really look at it. But I liked it. It was mellow. It was different than being in the DMV. And I don't think if I was so hell bent on living in Southern California that I would possibly even move to the Seattle, Washington area. But I had a great time. I went to I utilized the fun riding with the ducks in Seattle, and that was great. So that took me around the whole downtown area, and I actually got to go inside one of the lakes that's part because Seattle has a bunch of lakes, and it's obviously connected to the Pacific Ocean. Um, and it was great. We got to see all downtown. We got to see all the houses. I didn't even realize living here. I forget that actually people do live on boats. So it's like that was crazy. People buy a boat. They little house boats. That was awesome. I went to see a comedy club. I believe it was called. Let me hold on a second. I got it right here. It's called because I went to Portland at the same time. So I went to the what is it? The Jet House. Yeah, that was it. It was the Jet House. That was a good time. I'm sorry, Jet City. That's what it was, not Jet House. It was Jet City Improv, but it was good. You know, it was more wholesome, mom and pop. You could tell it's been around for a while, so I actually had much more fun hanging out there, just seeing some local comedians and other comedians from around the whole Pacific North. Pacific Northwest area, so that was a good time. And walked around Seattle. I did Airbnb. If nobody's ever done it, you got to do it. You save a lot more money. You get your own place, but way cheaper than being in a hotel. So that was even better. I had a great time. I was supposed to make this video while I was out there, but I was too busy having fun and doing other things that I forgot to make this video out there. But Seattle's a great town. I know. I remember researching before I went out there, and people call it the Seattle Freeze, and which means that basically people, if they don't know you, they're not gonna get to try to know you. Everybody kind of stays to themselves, and I'm like, well, I guess I don't know what they call. I call the DMV uptight country because usually people out here don't want to associate with you unless you can do something for them. That it's always, well, what's in it for me, or what's your nonsense status. That they bring into the place. You know, how much are you making? I'm like, okay, great. You make six figures in the DMV. Guess what? You're still middle class. Unless you're rich like Bill Gates, you still got to get up and go to work and sit on traffic at 995. Guess what? You're still a worker bee. But hey, you know, but that's another topic for another day. Matter of fact, that's a topic I need to write, video I need to make, talking about the good old DMV and the uptightness that's associated with people that they're doing something special when at the end of the day, you're just going to work and paying bills like the majority of society. But anyways, I spent 2 days in Portland, Oregon. Great time. One thing I loved about Portland, I didn't get to spend as much time there as obviously I spent 4 days in Seattle. But the one thing I loved about Portland, Oregon, I love the fact, and because a lot of times cities have a hard time doing this because of all the development, but they've kept their authenticity of the city within the houses, the way that they're on the mountains, beautiful. Because see, I can appreciate a sunny day, and I can appreciate a cloudy, a gloomy day, just depending on the area and the way that the fog comes over the mountains in Portland. Beautiful. Of course, you got the Pacific Ocean connecting to the city. Great. I even had a crazy incident where everything in Portland looks the same. You know, every corner in Portland looks the same. So it's unlike the Washington D.C. metro area where landmarks stick out a little bit more compared to Portland, Oregon, but everything in Portland looked the same. So I walked around downtown Portland after I left the museum of what was it? Museum of let me make sure I get the name of this museum right. The Museum of Great Art. Yeah, the Museum of Great Art in Portland. If you haven't gone there, it's a culture of the city, how the city came to be, different artists from around the world. Great museum. I walked around downtown Portland for almost an hour looking for my rental car because all the public visitor parking spaces all look the same. And I talked to a multitude of people. Of course, a lot of the locals couldn't help me, but it's like, man, I wish I could help you. One person said, hey, there's a cop over there. Maybe he can help you. I said, really? He's going to help me out? I was like, well, we'll see. Because he was busy towing somebody's vehicle because they were legally parked. So I was like, okay, well, let me go over there. Officer's like, well, let me call it in because he's like, the tow truck guys there, they like to obviously make their money. And even if you have paid, they're not going to check in the system. They'll just tow your car and charge you anyways. So I was like, okay, well, let's see what happens. And officer spent about 25 minutes. I wish I remembered his name. Great guy. I could tell he was a veteran. Driving me around downtown Portland, and we finally found my vehicle. And for all the flack that cops get, cops are like any other profession. You have good ones, you got bad ones. There's no profession in this world that you can find and say they're all good. No, you got good cops, you got bad cops. It's like any other profession. So, that day I ran into a good cop, and I'm thankful for that. But it was a great experience. You know, even in that moment, it's like when I found the vehicle and I was driving back to Seattle, I was just happy. You know, like, hey, I was eating my Subway sandwich and I was just on the road and I was just in paradise. So, moral of the story is enjoy your life. You get one life. We got a new year. You know, don't say new year, new me. That's been used too much. Say new year, new goals, new aspirations, new hopes, new dreams to go after and to accomplish, and do what you got to do. And as hard as it might get, do your best enjoying it with your loved ones, whether you're internal, external family members, your friends. Look forward to a year of maybe possibly making new friends, but just looking forward to 2018 because I know I am, and I know that I call it Final Destination year. I used to call it Operation Exit Strategy, but the exit's getting closer for me to get out of the DMV, and I hope the exit is getting closer for you to get out of your current situation and heading towards the situation that you want to be in, no matter what it may be in this life. Just keep working hard and towards your dreams because it'll happen eventually. And as long as you have the right people around you, whether they're friends or family, it makes the journey that much better and easier to get through. But as they say, appreciate the journey, appreciate your life, and appreciate the good people that are in your life. Have a good one and Happy New Year.